And those would be both delivered to home delivered meal clients. And also if our office for the aging clients prefers to have their meal in a congregate setting, then delivery to the congregate setting. And we would need this approval to, we're essentially giving Office for the Aging the authorization to enter into this contract in advance of September 1st. And we would ratify that determination at the board meeting.
All right, so would someone like to make that motion? All right, Supervisor Conover, a second to the motion. Discussion, although I thought we discussed it a bit. Andrea?
I thought we just established that the meals could not be delivered to a congregate site.
Well, she was going to check into that, were you not, Dee? That was what I thought.
We're going to check with them to see if that is a possibility.
So do we need to change the language of that resolution?
I think I phrased it as an if.
He did phrase it that way, that it would have incorporated that. All right, I guess we better, yes, Claudia.
Thank you. Chairwoman, I think it's really important that we make an effort to try to keep those congregate settings open. And so I'm glad that she's going to look into the mom's meals, whether they need to amend the contract through Julie or the bid. I think that it might be worthwhile to spend a little bit more money if they can do that for those particular sites. And I would ask as personnel chair that we don't make any major personnel changes in this initial phase while we get this rolled out, so that we can see how it's working before we make any major changes to the personnel. I see there's a lot of other things on the agenda, but we don't have our meeting until September 1st. So I'd like to, which means this mom's meals things would not be implemented until after that personnel committee meeting. Just want to put that out there so that you have expectations that we're not immediately making changes to our personnel. Thank you. From my perspective.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second to the motion. I think we need to vote on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
All right, one opposed. All right, with that, we'll move on then to number 4. Thank you.
This is permission to amend our budget to incorporate the 2021 CSEA contract settlement, basically to transfer $29,504 from Warren County contracts into Warren County personnel and fringe budgets, and to transfer $6,968 from Hamilton County contracts into Hamilton County personnel and fringe budget codes. We will not utilize all of our contract amounts, which is why we could take it out of there, and we should receive a minimum of 75% reimbursement from NYSOFA due to stimulus monies received in 2021 and the flexibility in spending during the major disaster declaration.
All right, would someone like to bring that to the floor? Supervisor Stroud, second by Supervisor Hogan. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
The next item is permission to fill a vacant position of meal site cook number 2 at the Indian Lake meal site due to the person in this position transferring to our Cedars meal site.
All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor McDevitt, seconded by Supervisor Stroud. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
I'm confused. Should we do these? Should we hold off on these?
We should do them, right, Mr. Moore?
My opinion would be yes. We see if we can have people that are willing to do the work. If it turns out that based on how we see the mom's meals operating, we'll figure it out at that point. But I would not close the door at this point. I would leave the door open and proceed on filling these positions in case they're needed.
In that case, can we move 5 through
What you're saying is 5, 6, 7, and 8? Is that what you want to do?
9? Can we move them all together?
I don't see a problem. Do you, Dee, with moving those all together?
No.
All right, so who made the motion before? Was it Mr. McDevitt?
Yes.
Seconded by-
No problem. Yep.
All right,
Fine with that.
okay then. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. All right, Dee?
And the last thing we had was just notification that we requested authorization for myself and Roseanne to attend the ACUU conference in September from the 21st to the 22nd at the Desmond Hotel in the amount of $195 per person. And we'll be using a fleet vehicle to travel back and forth.
All right, would someone like to make that motion? Supervisor Conover, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
You don't
Any-
need a motion for
Oh,
that.
that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. She was just bringing it to our attention. Thank you. All right. Dee, anything else?
No.
All right, Mr. Lehman, do we have any public comment? I'm assuming that means no. Okay, anyone else out there who has anything they want to add to that? All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Dee.
you.
I appreciate that. You said they were coming over, right, Ben?
If they're sitting right out in the hallway.
It's better,
Yours were easier than
you know, the
Good.
problem is that they have too much-
Good yourself.
Good weekend. Thing is, I don't know, so I went better time.
that. No, I think that's what she's doing. I think there's so much that's sticking. Such time consuming.
Yes, it's-
But she is right up there.
Are you?
And what I do is, for the last 3 years,
Right. No, right here. Is this, yeah, check it out. Before you leave.
good, I don't know, going around, going well,
Should just be immediate.
put that in as a bing, 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 right?
I won't have to work much when I get back to the community center.
You didn't bring your computer?
Are we good, Tammy? We are good. Okay, so now we'll move into public health. Janelle, it's all yours.
Good morning, everybody. In the interest of time, I was going to suggest maybe I could just do my resolution request, and for the attachments, if people have questions, they can reach out. Is that
That is perfectly fine. I appreciate that. Thank you.
okay? My first resolution request is to increase supervisor on call pay for the weeknights from $45 to $60 per night, and the weekend rate, which covers Saturday and Sunday, as one rate from $235 to $350, effective 7/1/2021, and authorize retroactive payments. Effective 7/1/2021, the CSEA contract increased employee, which included our staff nurses' call pay to $50 a day. And that was more than what our supervising nurses were being paid. So that's why we're asking.
Okay, that makes sense.
The impact is anticipated to be $5,000.
Okay, on your current budget. Okay, would someone like to make that motion? Supervisor McDevitt, seconded by Supervisor Hogan.
Health services.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
My second resolution request is to authorize a contract with Quadrant Biosciences, Inc., a laboratory to facilitate COVID testing to support schools and help maintain in-person instruction. The contract period will commence 7/1 of 2021 and go through 7/31 of 2022, not to exceed $1.7 million, with the ability for a one-year extension as long as rates don't exceed 5% increase annually, and a 90-day termination notice. I know your agendas say a little differently because we were initially asking for automatic renewal, but the county attorney's office advised me this morning that I should change that to include a one-year extension and make it from 30 days to 90 days to reflect the contract language. So those are two changes that were made. We received a grant that you guys have already approved us accepting the funds for. And this is a contract with a lab to help us do the work required by that contract.
All right, would someone like to bring that one to the floor, please? Supervisor Hogan, I think they're falling asleep on us here. Second to the motion, Supervisor Conover. Any discussion? All right, we'll vote on that then. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
The third resolution request is to authorize a grant contract with the State Health Department to receive funding for the Immunization Action Plan COVID vaccine response in the amount of $70,842.33 for a grant period of 1/1/2021, which it does go retroactive and will cover expenses that we had to 6/30/2024. And this is used to promote COVID and other vaccine uptake, which includes funding to target our high-risk groups. This is a funding to promote vaccination, and it will go back to January to cover eligible expenses. And there is a typo that should say to June 30th of 2024.
All right, thank you. Would someone like to bring that motion to the floor, please? Supervisor McDevitt, seconded by Supervisor Conover. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
My fourth request is to approve filling and request referral to the Personnel Committee to approve filling a vacant full-time public health nurse number 8 position, which is a grade 21. The base salary is $53,675. The position became vacant 8/18 through a resignation, and the position is needed and it's revenue generating.
All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor Stroud, seconded by Supervisor Conover. Any discussion? All right, we'll vote then. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
My fifth request is basically the same, to approve the filling and request to the referral of the Personnel Committee to approve filling a vacant full-time public health nurse position number 35. It's a grade 21, same base salary of $53,675. This became vacant. Actually, it's anticipated to be vacant tomorrow through resignation, and the position's needed and revenue generating.
All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor McDevitt, seconded by Supervisor Stroud. Any discussion? All right, we'll vote then. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
All right, our next resolution request is to authorize accepting a $25 donation to Health Services. This donation was received in memory of a patient and appreciation of our agency and recognition of the care provided by one of our nurses. And we have to have the ability to accept that. And before maybe you vote, we just received another check today of $100. So I don't know if you want to include that in this, or if you want me to bring the $100 one next month.
I'll make the motion, including the $100.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stroud. Second to that, Supervisor Hogan?
Sure.
Is that all right to include the $100 one that she just got today then?
Yes, but should we move 6 and 9 together?
9 is the budget amendment to reflect the receiving of the donation.
So can we put the two together then?
Sure.
All right, then. That's okay with Mr. Stroud? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Okay, so now I think Ton is up for number 7, 8, and 10.
Okay.
Attachment number 7 is just regarding our COVID vaccine contract that we got from the immunization. Again, it's amending the budget for $70,842.33. And again, I've listed all the expenses. We're going to put it in all this year, and if there's any left over, we will carry it over next year.
All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor McDevitt, seconded by Supervisor Hogan. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Attachment number 8 is for our, well, Janelle was talking about the $1.7 million for the school. This is what we proposed for this year, and purchasing of things needed for the testing within the schools, and it's $491,929. And again, that's what we're anticipating for this year. If anything, we will carry it over next year, but of course, we will have more if we end up using it, because it's a 1.7 million. So if we need more next year, that'll be in the budget.
Okay, good. All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor Stroud, seconded by Supervisor McDevitt. Any questions? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Attachment number 9 was what we discussed with the donation,
Right.
bringing that to 125.
Mhm.
And then attachment number 10 is our transfer of funds. The first one is a per diem nursing position that's in our family health. Right now, we're not utilizing it. We'd like to move those funds where we are utilizing a nurse, which is in our disease program for COVID clinics and helping out with that. And that's $15,000 along with benefits. That's the first one. The second one is full-time salaries. Again, because of the resignation of one of our nurses that does some coding, we've already set up with a business called McBee for doing coding for us for some of our services. So again, I just want to take the salaries, move them from full-time because we won't have the nurse position, and moving it to contract to help pay for those expenses. And the third one is just, I had forgotten, again, another nurse that it's in the family health program. We're utilizing her totally in the disease program right now during COVID. And it was just her dental insurance that I just didn't move over to the disease because that's where it's coming out of, because that's where she's getting paid for. And that was $288.
All right. Would someone like to make that motion, please? Supervisor McDevitt, seconded by Supervisor Stroud. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Great. The only thing, again, if you have any questions on the attachments, please let us know. We'll be happy to answer those. But I think I do have to advise the group that for the meeting and conference authorizations, I have one out there for myself to attend the 2021 Public Health Leaders Summit that focuses on vaccine equity. That's sponsored by NICEHO. The expense is covered by the NICEHO dues. The only thing I have to worry about is gas to get out there and back. Might be carpooling, might not be going, don't know, but I need the approval because it's early October. And then I have 2 other notices that I have a nurse that I want to train to be a coder and also an OASIS, and those are online certifications and training that we need to do. So I just wanted to bring your attention to those 3 meeting
All right, thank you very much.
authorizations.
Did anyone on the committee have any questions for Janelle? We appreciate you making it a little briefer. Seems like the morning got away from us. But before you leave, Janelle, you're not here on Friday when they announce the people who have taken some of this training. We have a certificate of completion that certifies that you have successfully completed skills training in effective team management, leadership essentials, and conflict resolution. So congratulations and thank you for taking those courses. All right, with that, I guess I can entertain the motion to adjourn.
Like that.
Motion, second motion, Supervisor Conover. All those in favor? Aye.